Bulls Radio Lounge. How are you? 9 o'clock, very special edition of Bulls Radio Lounge. If you're listening, good morning. How are you? I'm not usually doing this at 9 o'clock in the morning. I know, I whine a lot sometimes. Welcome to the show. The phone line is open, 813-922-8624. We're going to, this is going to be a different this type of show, and if you're listening, thank you. Please bear with me. Please bear with Osment Productions. This is sort of a mashup between two shows, and we're going to see how we do. So I don't know if she's ready. Let's see. Let's turn this down. No, she's still playing music. Let's see. Welcome aboard. How are you guys this morning? Calling the show. I gotta hear how you guys are doing, man. Kind of doing solo until we get linked up. Call-in number is open. 813-922-8624. So if you want to call into the show, kind of talk to me for a little bit, get some coffee or something, I don't know. So Matt and I did a show last night. No, she's still in. She is still in commercials. The hell is this playing over here? Sounds like Harry Potter. Hold on, stand by. Oh my gosh, what I got going on? See? Yeah, skip that. Yeah, thank you. Put some chill music on. She's still playing the rock music. I don't know. 9:02. So anyways, welcome to the show. Thank you guys again for showing up. I was kind of going to talk about a couple different things along with, her show, because, she's developed her show to where she can, she talks about a lot of rock music, a lot of, bands that are sort of around the town and stuff like that, which is cool. It really is. I'm glad that she can do that and have that opportunity to do that. I mean, trust me, I wish I had that kind of opportunity to start recording or listening and interviewing bands. That'd be great. Still music. So she puts together with her team, her production team. I want to say it's Winter Haven, to be honest with you, but so she has her team, and she has this channel called Osment Entertainment, and she has a budget of different interviews, which some of them are really good interviews. I like a lot of them, but she asked me her opinion about, how I can help her, and her team asked me, and I'm like, well, this is how I do things, how I sort of, and that's how we're going to hopefully take this journey. I don't know if she's having technical difficulties or what, but anyways, hopefully these series of shows, will be able to, kind of, All right, we're getting it straight, hopefully. Well, Well, no. Now. I mean, come on. Green light. Green light. Come on, let's go. 9 o'clock. That's when the show time. Come on, let's go. Let's go. It's tough to do anything in 8 minutes. All right, come on, let's go. Listen. I understand you want to listen to music, but yeah. It's really tough to win anything in 8 minutes. I'm telling you. Anyways, Osmond Entertainment, when their production team says, "Okay, cool, we're linked up with the satellites," I'm like, "All right, cool, let's get linked up. Let's do this, man." And we'll get linked up. We'll start doing it. All right, I think she's ready. Let's see.
Are you there?
I am here. Are you there?
Good morning, Bull.
Can I tell you something?
Tell me something.
I would find out your production team, right? The 1-2 plans that help you plan the show, right? I would find out where they went to school, right? And then tell them to go put their money back.
For what?
Okay, listen, I was being a dick there, but let me tell you why.
I think so.
You wanted to start the show at 9 o'clock, right?
Listen.
9:07.
So it really depends on which music I pick to go into that intro. So yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, the production team. That's all me. That's all me. Love the hate. What's up, guys?
Yeah, good morning. I mean, have good fresh start. I mean, we're almost 10 minutes late, past the 9 o'clock hour.
It's 7, and we've been on for like a minute, so technically like 6 minutes.
Actually, to be honest with you, I've been on for 13 minutes.
Oh, well, I mean, start time's at 9.
Right. Oh, yes. Hey, that's wow. See, you learned that. Because listen, if it got to 10, you're still playing the music, I'd have been like,
"Bye, Felicia."
Bye, Felicia. Because here's why. Okay, and this is why the first show is so hard to do, because you're trying to find the rhythm, right? You're trying to feel each other out, okay? And even if your production team is doing whatever, they've got to pay attention too, all right? And this is why. If you're broadcasting that you want to start at 9 o'clock, 9 a.m., okay?
Right.
People are going to wake up to start hearing you. It's great that you're playing 30 minutes or 35 minutes of pre-music. That's great. What I would do, if you want to take my advice, I would take that, okay? And, yeah, you're on the right one. Okay. I would take that, and then I would sit there and put a couple of different liners in there.
Right.
And then go on from there. And that way, people will start building it up. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think Paul Bryan said he's guilty by association, am I? So, yeah, that's the production team right there. That's
I mean, listen, you got to get that stuff straight, man.
Man. Oh, whatever.
I mean, if you get a person, right? And I'm not trying to bash you, okay? Please don't take this as a bashing, okay?
Oh, I'm not taking it as a bashing.
All right, because listen, I've had worse. When you get on to a live radio show, when you start doing the stuff that I've done, yeah, anyways. But it's good to learn, because I'm still learning. Everybody is still learning, okay? And through this process, I think we will learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, that's one of the main things, is just not, if you say a time, like, and I'm guilty of it too. If I say a time, I try to meet that mark,
Yeah.
And, especially if you have a guest on, you want to try to meet that mark too. Like, for example, if you have them at 9:30, right? You want to try to put them on at 9:30.
Right.
You see what I mean? So, and it's all planning, blah, 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 yada, yada. That stuff behind the curtain.
I promise, Bull, next time I'll be better for you.
Listen, you don't have to be better for me. You just have to be better for yourself, okay?
That we'll do it.
All right,
We'll,
because I I I I tell this to a lot of people. I don't want you to do it for me. Okay? And this is why. Okay? And I'm
Okay.
not and I may sound selfish and I may sound narcissistic when I say this, but listen, I appreciate it. I'm very humbled, right? I'm humbled to take part and see where this goes, okay? But the thing is that, I don't need anybody to sit there to do it for me, okay?
oh no.
You have to do it for you, okay?
Oh, calm down. It was a
No,
it
no, no,
was
no,
a
no. This is what I tell people because this is why I tell them don't get mad at me when I say stuff like this, okay? Because I don't want them to take it personal. It's not personal. It's the nature of the business, okay?
that's
All right, you have to do that. No ifs, ands, or buts about
so. Well, why don't you tell everybody what it is that you do?
it. Okay. So where do I start? I started at USF. I actually got I was a tech at a local theme park here, and I ran into a guy that eventually I flipped his radio station because he wanted to. He was doing a 80s mantra of music, even though he wasn't born in the 80s. But nevertheless, so I flipped it. We did a little bit of like a talk format, and we had a whole bunch of guests come in. We had Lindsay Mastis from News Channel 8, WFLA formerly. I think she's doing in Washington now, D.C. We had what's the guy named wow, boy, his name forgets me now. From Amish Mafia, the guy that was in charge of that from Discovery Channel. Remember that show?
Yes.
I had Lebanon Levi. That was his name, Lebanon Levi. We had him live on the show during the USF days. Just a Bubba the Love Sponge, Maurice Jovan from 102.5 The Bone, Mike Calta impersonating Bubba the Love Sponge on our show from 102.5 The Bone. So just a plethora of different guests and artists and different uniqueness has come to the show. We even done a stunt there where it was Halloween and a guest, an artist, a painting artist, had to stick their hand inside different Tupperware containers and feel and blindfolded and describe on the air what they felt.
Oh.
Right. And then one time we had a very special guest, a good friend of mine, Scott Swenson. He was the creator of Hollow Scream at Busch Gardens, which is a great event if you go. He came up with a bit, and on radio, that's what they call it, a bit. And so he came up with a bit to where you have to cross the floor with mousetraps on there while you're trying to ad-lib, certain things.
Right.
Right? It's a big hit. Oh, my gosh. It's funny as hell. So.
That sounds awkward. But
why is it awkward?
I don't know. What if it, like, when you stick your hand in there and like
you stick your your
bugs
step
or something?
What? Bugs?
No, you said you put it in, like, you blindfolded them and then they like reached into a container.
Yes, but it was all food. It was all food products.
Oh.
Do you actually think that would bring a live specimen into a studio?
I mean,
if I was presenting an animal, maybe kind of, yeah, okay. So, gosh, boy, I don't know. We have to work on some stuff. So, anyways, I went from USF to I got along. I actually brought a guy named Ty Lindsay at the time. Brought him to the dance. To a top 5 at the time station, which if you're from Tampa or in Tampa, this host has been around for a long time in the Tampa market. His name is Bubba the Love Sponge. Now, I have to say this because listen, I respect the guy. Okay, there's a lot of people that I don't respect, because they're a bunch of dicks and assholes, But there's a lot of people that I do respect, and there's a certain person in a certain degree in a certain category that you place people, right? So
Right.
this particular gentleman, Bo the Love Sponge, when I got there, he sort of helped me and sort of tutored me of how he does things, right? Sometimes good, sometimes bad, whatever. But I learned a lot from him, and I learned a lot from Manson, 25 Cent, Gene Lasker, um, Rob Gargiulo, Fivehead, you know, Jabberjaw, all those people, Caveman, Pantera, 25 Cent, everybody in that studio throughout the 4 years that I worked there, right? They were fantastic people, and I learned so much from them. When I say that. Now, having said that, to go full circle, I'm sorry to be long-winded.
Euro.
So the thing is, what you hear on the air, and I say that to say this, what you hear on the air is this. Bubba plays a persona on the air, okay? Now, you have to judge for yourself which is real and which is fake. I can tell you probably about 80% is real. At least back in the day, it was that way. But, that was a doggy.
Yeah, that's
So then now, since they moved to the Twitch world, you can see that it's not fake. But Bubba is a very nice guy off the air. He'll give his shirt off his back to anybody, and people don't realize that because they think of a persona of him as what he used to do back in the day. And all the stuff that he got in trouble for, which, mind you, he has admitted that the stuff that he got in trouble for was his own fault. He admitted that on the air, and I respect that. You're slapped with over a $200,000 fine from the FCC because of the fact that, you didn't slaughter a pig, but you played it on the air,
Right.
I mean, you come off the air for 2 years, you come back strong. I mean, come on, the guy has his own studio, everything's paid for. I respect that. I always have, and it takes a certain dedication because I was there for about a year and a half when I was an intern there, and it was rough. It was a certain point where I was like, listen, I sat Jabberjaw down and said, listen, I love it here. I enjoy it. I have the passion for it, but we got to talk about pay, because I'm not getting paid, and bills don't care about, who I work for,
Yeah.
So then I think at the time Pantera retired, was nice guy, wonderful guy, love the guy to death. Caveman too. He was a very, very. He was one of sort of my mentors too in the bullpen. So, because in these type of events or studios, it's a whole different world. Let me tell you, like you think you know how to do this, right? Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Because if you don't have, like I said, if you don't have thick skin doing this, you will not last doing that. So anyways, so at the time, Ty and I were interns there. Ty couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle the pressure. He couldn't handle the, whatever. So that was a whole drama fest right there, which is for another day or another time. Because he handled it horrible, worse, bad, disgusting, the way he left. But anyways, so I stayed, went there for 4 years, had my own show called Ballistic Radio, which it went on for, I think, about 2 years while I was there. And then so after that, after I got left from there, I started developing Bulls Radio Lounge, which is basically a platform for people who need or want to, broadcast like we're doing here, what's called live on live. Okay. you're live on your end, broadcasting on your end, and I'm live on my end, broadcasting on my end. So that's live on live. There you go.
Right.
So it's good because that's what, like I said, that's why I developed this platform on YouTube, because that way if people want to send their product, I mean, let's get real here. When you go to a studio, you want to rent a studio for like an hour.
Right.
On average, it's $300
Right.
to talk. Okay? Now, on average, who has $300 to spend? You know, does that make sense? You know,
I don't.
yeah.
Really.
So that's the thing. It's like that's why I developed this platform, is because I want people that are podcasters that are doing the stuff like that to have a free and open range and responsibility for their own show on a channel that they can produce weekly.
Right.
You know, and like I said, it's I try to charge and judge accurately, you know, depending on, you know, nights and whatnot and stuff like that, you know. I mean, I'm not going to charge people $1,000 to do it, you know, like I should. But, you know, I believe if I like the show and it's good and I believe in it, I will put it on the air because I believe in the product, you know.
Right.
If you need work, if you need questions, and you're doing a show on this platform, then you know what? I have no problem helping you. Okay, but you have to take, you know, criticism.
Right.
You know, I don't know everything, and I don't claim to know everything. I'm still learning. Like literally when I bought this board like a month ago, I had to build everything back up from channel to channel, switch by switch, computer switch by computer switch, right? Just to get it to where it's at now, to where it's now professionally done, because I can get phone calls, I can get, you know, everything that you would see on a professional studio level, I'm able to do it right now.
Right.
The one thing that I have to do though is I have to install my Ethernet cable to get a secure line for it. Right now I'm just running off of wireless, which sometimes it drops. It's good at times, but it drops signal sometimes. So,
right.
But anyways, wow, we went off track with that one. So, going back full circle, I've been doing this for 3 years with a buddy of mine called Mark the Bartender. He's a great guy. He owns a bar. We usually broadcast from the bar. I mean, well, pre-COVID, we did. Right. So then now, you know, post-COVID, I've been doing it from my 25-foot bunker. And yes, it is an actual 25-foot bunker. Okay. And yes, I do have a house, but it's a decoy house. Okay. So it's actually, you know, rented out to a different family, but it's right. A decoy house. But yes, I do broadcast and live in a 25-foot bunker in the backyard, as I obviously proclaim. So, and especially like, you know, I have a hedgehog, so he is sort of like the technical advisor and an assistant. So I got to keep him happy, and he, you know, spins the wheels and bullshit like that. So there's a lot of things going on, you know. So yeah, I've been doing it for a little over 3 years now. Mark the Bartender, he's going to be joining back on the show on Tuesday nights. Matt the Savior, we're doing a show called The Social Reload. The one with Mark is Bull and the Bartender Show. And that one
made you build a bunker?
What's that?
What made you build a bunker?
Zombies, nuclear warfare, asteroids.
Asteroids. I could follow that one.
Assholes that I don't care about.
Assholes too. I could follow.
I mean, pick your poison there, kiddo.
I mean, I get all of them except for the zombies. The zombies, I don't.
Did you see COVID?
I did.
Did you see what happened to the mob?
Yeah, it went crazy.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, zombies. Yeah.
Same difference.
Yeah, that's true. So going forward, I've been working and building this channel, and like I said, I want to have it a platform for people to invest their time into, and invest their energy, because like I said, there's not very many platforms. I mean, you can still do it. You can find stuff on there. This is just one of many, you know.
Right.
But, it's like I said, they're not gonna charge. I'm not gonna, charge you as much, and whatever. But, I just would like to have you or have somebody do shows to where they're not worried about, like they can have an open forum to talk about whatever they want to,
Right.
Now, mind you, we do have to, you do have to have what's called radio respect too, because you can't just go up there and, this, that, blah, blah, what is that going to do? I mean, if you have an agenda and you want to talk about it, cool, that's great. Then let's talk about it in a professional manner. Let's not talk about it like, we're whatever. Does that make sense at all? Or is I'm just, blowing shit out of my ass?
Kinda. I mean, I try to hint away from like sensitive subjects. I mean, you're a little different than me on that.
I have no problem with sensitive subjects. I think they need to be talked about. I think they need to be discussed, because here's why. And I'm sure when you grew up and you were a kid back in the 80s and the 90s, just like I did, you
Right.
smart off to your mom or your dad, guess what? You got smacked for it.
That's right.
Nowadays, you do it and you got handcuffs.
Well, yeah.
And it's not about handcuffs because, well, I take it back. There's a difference between spanking and there's a difference between hitting. Okay?
Yes.
Does that make sense? Like, everybody disciplines their kids differently. It's not my place to say anything about that. Okay?
Right.
It's none of my business. But my point is that there's a difference between those two, and some people do take it too far. Okay? In my opinion. Okay? Now, having said that, the person who sticks their fucking phone and starts recording the goddamn thing like they're on TMZ because they want to make, their 15 seconds of fame, why?
Yeah.
Why? Okay? If you see the parent physically smacking the kid in anger like the parent's a goddamn Hulk, okay, yeah, that's a different thing. But if the parent is just doing their job as a parent, you know what? Okay, I'm sorry, but do you want to know what really pisses me off about this subject?
What's that?
Those Karens. Right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they're females. And unfortunately, they're, nice people. So, here's why. Okay. There was a story about a little girl. And listen, I don't give a shit what color the person is, what race they are. It doesn't make a difference to me. Okay? We all bleed the same color. Okay? We all came out the same way. Unless you came out from a test tube. Okay? Unless you came out from the lab from Avengers or something like that. All right? I mean, let's logically look at this. All right? But you have a little girl selling lemonade on the side where she lives at, next to 2 Steps in New York. You have this other woman that comes up and says, "What are you doing? I'm recording you. Why are you selling this? You can't do that." And the mom's like, "Why are you recording this? What is she doing wrong?" "Oh, she can't be selling lemonade here." What? And it's stuff like that. People that sit there and tell other people they can't listen to their music. You know how many times I've sat there and walked past people, been in people's houses over the years, and I've heard all kinds of music.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Listen to whatever you want to. Just like earlier when you were playing this screaming, god-awful music that sounded like, somebody throwing up on Christmas Day. Because too much eggnog.
Got fined for not having a permit. Paul Bryan said, got fined for not having a permit. Fined for what? Wait, what? What?
Okay,
I'm so confused.
it's okay. So, and that's the thing. It's people like that have to stick their nose in other people's business that have no right, no business doing it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, okay, let's just say this, right? Let's just say that a person, you see a person, you're observing, you see a person get onto their kids. You see another person, you know, call the cops, right? Now, this other person is sitting there doing the right thing, okay, by disciplining. But then because this person called the cops because they want to be a Karen or whatever, well, then guess what? Now they've got to call the child people and all this other stuff, and it's like, really? You know, you couldn't just keep your nose out of it. You know?
I mean, I think that people think that they have too much, you know, grounds to say something. You know, but you know that. Uh, I think that you know old rules need to come back. You know, if someone sticks their nose where it doesn't belong, I mean, then you know, defend what it is that you're defending. Knock them the fuck out.
Wow, I don't know about that. I mean, you can't. I mean, listen. I,
It's illegal to hit people, but yet, but see that what's really funny is we promote no bullying in school, right? But then we expect our adults to adult and be bullied every day. But if we retaliate to said bullies, then we get arrested. So
well,
it doesn't really quite make any
true.
sense.
It's a double negative, and you know, and it's hypocritical at best. But the thing is too, is that it's almost like with anything else, one person ruins it all. You know, so somewhere along the line between, I don't know, 2012 ish, when this whole, you know, Soviet thing started, or what, you know, the little statues and whatever, right?
Right.
And then the parade that the guy plowed through the parade with his Corvette or whatever it was, right? Because of all this. And then year to date now, what we've seen so far, you know, to be honest with you, I'm kind of scared to see what's going to happen in the next 5 years.
Paul Bryan said, if it's not breaks, if it doesn't break my leg or picks my pocket, why should I care?
True. That is true.
Yeah.
Because
Paul Bryan is with Dome Productions. He is our videographer that comes out to our artist interviews and pretty much every event that we do as Ozma Entertainment to give the artist promotional footage to promote with. So
that's good. That's awesome. Thank you.
Cool.
His name is Brian, right?
Paul Bryan.
Paul Bryan.
I get that mixed up all the time. Sometimes I'll be yelling at him and I'll be like, Brian. And I'm like, shit. I already know your name's Paul, but like he's got two first names. You know what I mean? So
Paul Bryan. Okay, gotcha.
Paul Bryan.
All right. Hello, Paul Bryan. I am Bull. Thank you for joining the show. So that, I've only had it. I've had it one time actually from a male, to be honest with you.
What?
Yeah, I had a Karen mail one time. Actually, not too long ago, probably about, I don't know, 5-6 months ago. So because I have a drone, right?
Right.
And I hope everybody know what a drone is nowadays, at least. I have a drone. I call the drone Wally. That's his name, right?
Right.
So I was flying here in Tampa. We have, you know, Tampa International, right? And then we have, Davis Island, you know,
right.
Municipal Airport, which is controlled by TIA. You know,
right.
Now, why do I say that? Okay. Well, if you know anything about drones, back in the day you had to map out where you're flying to. Okay. With this particular one, I can fly if I wanted to, anywhere I wanted to, but the problem is because of the maps and the FAA maps that is including within the software, it won't allow me to do within, like, I think it's like 10 feet of the boundary around any said airport. So it'll stop in midway.
What?
Yeah, the drone will. Like the sensors on the drone and with the programming and stuff like that, it won't allow me to pass this invisible barrier to go into an airport. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, having said that, to say this, I was wrapping up and I was about to land Wally, and I hear this guy in the distance going, "Hey, hey!" You know, he's out there taking care of his boat because it's a boat ramp out there too, and it's Davis Island boat ramp. And I'm like, "Hey, hey!" I'm like, "What?" I'm looking at the guy and I'm not responding because I knew where this is going. And he goes, "You can't fly this drone around here." Of course, I wanted to say, "Why the fuck do you care?" You know? But then that's going to lead to a confrontation. And I have to go to jail. And I'm not really good with small spaces, to be honest with you. So I don't think jail would work for me. So anyways, I didn't respond to him. And he kept on saying, "This is an airport. You can't do this. You have no right," and blah, blah, blah. And he's like 30 feet away. And I'm just like packing up my shit. I'm like, okay, let's go. We're out of here. You know, and it's stuff like that. It's like, because of people don't know things about drones, just like people don't know things about little girls selling lemonade. It's like, what is it that it is your business? You know, why does it bother? Here's my other question too that I've asked before, and maybe some of your audience can answer this. Okay, but that whole thing with the statues, right? The
Right.
Civil War statues, right? Case in point, the one that was in front of, if you've ever been to or walked by the Tampa courthouse down there, right? The older building.
Right.
There used to be a small 3-foot statue for whatever it is, 4-foot statue, 3-foot statue there of some sort of Confederate or whatever guy. And I've been driven by there, walked by there, never been in the building, but I've walked by there, you know, where this place is supposed to be, never noticed it till I saw it on the news. So my biggest question is like, why does stuff like that bother, you know, people so much that we have to like kill people and we have to destroy people's lives? Case in point, there's a story that just came out on, I want to say Paramount Plus or Hulu, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a black lady. She's I want to say she's a news reporter or something like that, or something to do with entertainment reporting. And
Right.
she cracked this story wide open a couple months ago. I don't know if you heard about it, but it's with the Black Lives Movement and that whole corporation. Now, listen, don't get mad at me, okay? I'm not the I haven't seen it yet. But the thing is that the story that she was promoting was that she looked at like the financials of this organization, right? And found out that most of the money wasn't even going to what it was supposed to be going to.
Right.
It was paying for planes, it was paying for clubs, it was paying for, and the community is like, where's the money that we were promised to fix up our housing because of all this?
Right.
You know, it goes back to saying when I can't remember the guy. It's a Jewish.
O'Brien said it's on the Daily Wire.
Oh, okay. It's on the Ben Shapiro. If you know who Ben Shapiro is, right? He spoke of the same thing. He's like, if you guys are promoting Black Lives Matter and you want to promote the black community and you want to support the black community, help the black community rise up and build themselves and build the community back up, but yet you have black Americans raiding black Americans' stores and houses and killing other black Americans.
Yeah.
And
Can you see the comments on your side too?
I don't know, to be honest with you. And I just that's the whole thing. It's why. Why?
Right.
What is the point in that? You're promoting, and I know this is a sensitive subject, but you're promoting Black Lives Matter, but yet you're looting the same people that you're trying to help.
Yeah.
Do you see a logic in that?
No,
You know,
not really. But then again, once people get money in their grips, they turn into different people.
right? Exactly. You know, the old
So,
biblical saying is money is the root of all evil.
that's right.
If you don't believe in God, if you're an atheist, hey, that's cool, no big deal. But some of that stuff does sort of apply to life. If you really
Well, I
think
think
about it.
applies.
What's that?
I think it all applies. I think it all applies to life. And nobody's going to live on this planet. I mean, yeah, there are rich people and there are poor people, but accepting the life for what it is. I mean,
Right.
not everybody is gonna, get millions of dollars. Not everybody is, but being happy and said path that you're in, regardless. Being content of who you are and what you bring to the table, and knowing that in a day to day that you do good and seek good,
Yeah.
then you should be fine. Yeah, that is the the golden rule. You know
And
what I
that's
mean?
the thing. It's like what I'm trying to project in this conversation is that the thing is that the logically, if you think about it, okay, take emotion out of the whole thing.
Right.
Take the history out. Take everything out of the whole thing and just think about it logically. Right? For
Right.
one, why does it keep ask yourself, look in the mirror, why does it keep you up at night?
Heidi said greedy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anybody. Like even with that statue thing, there were so many people upset about it after the story broke. But why? What do you walk by that statue and just get chills and grills and stuff like that? Or do you just not even notice it? Or the psychological thing, that's what I question. Is
Right.
what is the purpose of making a stink about that? Not okay, that's why I say take emotion out, disregard all that stuff. But why does it affect the person because of that? And people don't look at it that way. They act off of emotion. Because we are what?
Well, I think there's a lot of, there's a lot of people that are. I mean, what's his face is watching right now. He had that shirt on the other day when we did our interview. You remember that? Lions, not sheep.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are fucking sheep, man.
That's true.
A lot of people just, you say, hey, we're supposed to be pissed off about this. And then you get 10,000 fucking people that join you because they're supposed to be pissed off about it. And then, we're supposed to be pissed off about it. So we're going to be pissed off about it. Do you actually really care? No. You don't really give a fuck.
Listen,
you decided to join the team just because you wanted to vent and say that something was wrong.
Listen, the people. Here's a really good one that's going to twist your mind, right? People get upset if you unfriend them on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's like,
but
why?
It's okay to. Look, listen. I mean, it's okay to unfriend people. When you get unfriended, starting this platform, I cuss during my lives. I am very very personal, you know what I mean? I'm myself, and I that's how I wanted to feed it. I wanted it, people to see me for me, not for something that they wanted me to be.
Yeah.
And I've gotten unfriended and but I can't look at it as something that's going to be, a butt hurt situation. I mean, who gives a rat's ass? If you don't like me, then hey,
I always tell
okay.
them, change the channel.
Exactly. Go find something else.
So the funny story you mentioned that when I was at the BRN, I was doing my show right, and on Monday nights, and if you have like Bubba Raw, right, if you subscribe to Bubba Raw, My shows still might be up there if you look through it. So I had a caller call in, and this I don't. Have you ever listened to him at all, the Bubba Lessman show at all?
Yeah, I used
Okay.
to listen to
Do
it a
you
lot actually when I was younger, but
okay?
not.
Do you remember a guy that is come from I think Fort Myers, right? And so he called in as a flat earther.
Right,
You know, like he believed in the flat Earth deals.
right.
Sorry, I got distracted this time. Matt, the Savior, just posted on the Bulls Radio Lounge YouTube channel show. I unfriended Bull 18 times. Yeah, that's true. I think I counted 20, but he said 18. So, anyways, he called in the show, and he goes, Bull, you're a jackass. And I go, okay, cool, thanks, buddy. He goes, what do you got to say? He goes, what do you want to talk about? I got things to do. What's up? And he goes, well, I want to talk about the flat Earth. And we kind of discussed the flat Earth, and I told him that he was dumb because he thought that NASA was putting lenses on there that made the Earth, circle.
Right,
But the Earth is flat.
right.
Okay. So he got really pissed. I'm like, that's why I told him. I said, dude, where'd you get your college education from? Blah, blah, blah. I go, yeah, go get your money back, buddy. Okay? Because, apparently you didn't listen, or you were high, or you were, on crack cocaine, or whatever you're doing. So he got really pissed. He's like, I'm not going to listen to your show anymore. And I'm like, okay, cool. Don't listen. I said, you know what? I was going to unfriend you as a listener and go tell you to go listen to some other Jamoke show. Okay? But you know what? I want you to listen. I want you to listen to my show because guess what? It's going to piss you off when you listen.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? We're going to talk about you. And guess what? I'm going to make a sounder about you because you're funny. It's a high spot. So yeah, listen to my show. I want you to listen to my show. I want you to be pissed off and entertained and call the show so we can go back and forth and show you how much a fucking jackass you are because you think the earth is a flat thing. Dumbass.
That's supposed to be judging people.
And ironically, the guy showed up in the studio like 2 weeks later to take a tour of the studio. Yeah, to take a tour of the studio. I'm doing like my Twitch thing for the show, for the morning show, and they come in engineering and they go, oh yeah, this is engineering. I'm like, oh hey, what's up? And he goes, oh yeah, this is the guy with the flat Earth. I'm like, oh god. I'm like, please, no, I don't.
Don't do it.
So, and then we had a guy called Captain Mike from Iceland. He was a charter captain boat, and he would call in to the show, I think once or twice a year. Okay, but then he would send us packages from Iceland, like fish, whale blubber, squid, dolphin, all kinds of, fishy type stuff because that's all a delicacy over there, So,
right.
And then one time, one of them broke, and we had to put it in a cooler. Oh God, it stunk to high heaven with all that shit. So
it broke.
It broke. A jar broke, and it was some sort of like whale blubber or something like that. So, yeah, so it was very nasty, to be honest with you. So yeah, throughout the years of the BRN, I've met quite a few celebrities. One of which I was very, very, this is sort of like my top one that I wanted to really, really meet, besides meeting Gallagher, if you remember Gallagher, before he unfortunately passed away a number of years ago.
Right.
Well, actually, no, I think about a year ago he passed away. Because Tree Rocks is my executive producer, and she tells me a lot of different stories. Sometimes she's like banging behind the glass, trying to get my attention, because I'm doing something fucking stupid or something, But most of the time she's over there giving me stories and, stuff like that, and letting me know what's going on and, when to time to do a break or whatnot. But anyways, so yeah, I've met quite a few people. Gallagher, I've met. He's a very nice guy at the time. I was kind of sad that he died. And then I met, if you remember these guys, and see how much of your audience remember these guys with mine, but ICP.
Insane Clown Posse?
Yes.
What?
Yes, and I have to find the picture, but I do have a picture of them. And yes, I met both of them. In fact, when they came to the studio, when I got to the studio at 4:00 in the morning, right? And I'm doing all the morning prep. And then usually the executive producer, like at the time, was Rob Gargiulo. And he gave us the one sheet. The one sheet is, tells you what's going to happen throughout the day of the show.
Right.
Just bullet points. It may not go in that particular order, but it's bullet points. So I look in there and I go, ICP? And Caveman's like, yeah, ICP. And I'm like, really? Are you serious? Like, I was really marking out to him. I was like, wow, this is great. So, so they came in, right? Their RV met them at the airport, I think. And they came in and they parked their ginormous, RV, outside the studio. So when it was time to go get them, Bubba asked me to go get them. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I went to go get them, and I knocked on the door, and they're like, hey, man, what's up? And they let me, walk through their motor home and stuff like that, and, shake their hand. They already had their makeup on and all that stuff like that. And then I escorted them, and he had like 3 or 4 different people with him as their entourage and stuff like that. And I walked them into the studio. And it was a good interview between Bubba and ICP. It was sort of like and I was in there filming both of them at the time. Yeah. And it was a great milestone in my career, to meet ICP. I was really marking out to those guys. Because whenever are you going to meet them personally like that?
Yeah.
Like, shake their hand, like spend not just an hour or so on the air, but spend like almost 4 hours with them, chilling with them. Where else are you going to do that? You see what I mean? So that was sort of the highlight of my career, and I really enjoyed that. That was they said one time, they go, back in the 90s, we could do that. If somebody talked shit about us, we could sit there and beat their ass and not worry about it. But nowadays, you do that and you get a lawsuit.
Like my mother says, Christy, don't you know it's illegal to hit people?
Yeah, it's called assault. Yeah, that's called assault. I'm sorry.
I mean, it is, but I feel like we've got too many sensitive ass people in this country nowadays, and I think that some people deserve to be,
assholes or what?
No, well, some people need a hit, like a full ass spanking, man. Like full ass spanking, like
full ass.
I mean,
Bob's your uncle. Let me smack you around for a little bit.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean,
jeez, wow.
I'm just saying. I think that
a little rough. I think, don't you?
No, I think there's a lot of freaking people. How would I? Okay, fine. Let's do it this way. Okay, if there is in the wild, okay, you run across a wild lion per se, right? The lion, if there's another weak lion around, survival of the fucking fittest, man. Like, I mean, I just think that, there are too many, like, with the same discussion that we got into, with me, you, and Matt on your show, is like, I really think that, there needs to be, like, an express lane for dummies. Like,
an express lane for dummies.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, some people deserve to get their butt whooped.
Can I ask you a question?
What's that?
Are you smoking?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, you can't see my video? No, I'm not smoking.
I mean,
do you
it's
mean?
a
No,
a fast lane for dummies.
I'm just saying.
Wouldn't
Like,
that sort of
okay,
incorporate
there's
most
a
of
lot
like
of
80?
there's a lot of dumbass people in the world. Okay, a lot of dumb people. Like, and if you like, you know, we should just, survival of the fittest, man. I'm just saying, there should definitely be some kind of survival of the fittest. That's all. Sometimes.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. Let's do this. Let's take a break. All right, and we're going to take a little bit of a break, kind of reconnect, get back ourselves back to what we have to do, and we're going to talk about Christine Osmond and Osmond Entertainment and her old production team.
Heck yeah. I'll go ahead and start playing some music. Just give me just 1 second, and I'll take us down.
Take us down? You mean take us out?
Take us out. Take us down.
Take us out, not down.
All right.
All right, Christine Osmond, Osmond Entertainment, Bulls Radio Lounge, the mashup. Let's see what happens. Don't go away. Be back in a minute. Really, back in a minute. Stand by. If I can play my music. Hold on, wait. Oh, jeez. I don't know what to do. All right, stand by. Back in a minute.
Of your unique situation, joining us as a fifth year, we've devised something extraordinary to ensure your success.
Bulls Radio Lounge. How are you? What's going on? I hope you enjoyed that sort of segment, hour-long segment of, I don't know if it's going to be Bulls Takeover or Bulls whatever, but it's going to be Bulls Radio Lounge on this end, and we'll have to figure that out. But I hope you liked the Christina Osmond's production team and sound quality. I mean, you know, she has a lot more things to work on, but to me, she's sounding good. The only thing I would say was probably just, you know, talk sometimes, because sometimes they're a little bit winded, as most of you all know. But anyways, I do want to thank you guys for listening. It's been great. It's been different to do it at 9 o'clock in the morning, because usually I'm busy doing a lot more other things, and just kind of focusing on today's events. But no, I enjoyed it. I really did. Radio Lounge, how are ya? What's going on? I kind of, I don't know if that recorded or not, but I switched over to the A side, thinking that I can get a hold of Christina Osmond to talk with her off the air. And of course, I forgot to put it back on the. Wow, I'm telling you, it's too early. I want to again say thank you for joining this sort of mashup, if you will. I don't know what the official title of the show. So go check them out. Go to youtube.com. Just look up Christina Osmond, or Osmond Entertainment. That's what it is, Osmond Entertainment, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that and more. You know where to go. One-stop shopping, Osmond Entertainment. Go check it out. She has multiple interviews. Listen, guys, she's just learning like I was. You know, she's getting into the game. She's getting her feet wet. There's a lot of things to think about, so give her a chance. Give her some love. As one radio host, broadcaster to my fans, my Patreon fan, not Patreon, but what do you call them? Patrons of the bar. Please, guys, give her some love, just like you did with me, minus the making fun of. But give her some love, man. Give her a like, give her a subscribe. You know, she's learning. She's trying to build her brand. While you're doing that, go to youtube.com and also search Bulls Radio Lounge. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification button. That way you know that when we are live. Come on, guys. You know you want to do it. Just hit it. Anyways, Matt the Savior, Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock. Social Reload Show, 9 o'clock Eastern. And then I'm going to see if, when Matt comes back, Matt the Savior, he's one of the originals. Let's see if he can interlock himself with the Social Reload Show. It's a good time, Tuesday, 9 o'clock. And you can also call on the show, 813-922-8624. So if you want to call on the show live, right now the phone lines are busy just because we're ending the show. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for your patience. to the fans of Osmond Entertainment, thank you. I appreciate meeting you guys. I appreciate meeting some of the fans or some of the technical team over there. So we'll see where it goes. See what happens. Not promising anything, but we're gonna try it out next Wednesday at 9 a.m. If anything changes, we'll let you know. My guys will let you know. Her team will let you guys know. So again, Osmond Entertainment, YouTube.com, Bulls Radio Lounge, YouTube.com. And then don't forget to check out Adventures with Wally. That's on YouTube.com as well. There's going to be a very special video coming out here soon, which is going to star, a very spectacular little actress, little 10-year-old actress. She's trying to get into the whole camera, the radio business. So with the permission from the parents and stuff like that, which are going to be in the studio as well, she's going to be probably having her own show here soon. So be prepared for that. A lot of things are changing. A lot of things are coming about. A lot of things are going to be edited and sound great all for you. I mean, this is why we do this. So be prepared for that. It's going to be kicked into high gear, and we're going to start producing a lot more stuff. I'm Bull. Thank you so much for listening to my hot air. I appreciate it. You guys have a good day on your Tuesday. We'll see you Wednesday. Have a good day Wednesday. Yeah, I'm sorry. We'll see you next Tuesday, 9 o'clock, Social Reload Show. Just go to Facebook.com as well. Bulls Radio Lounge. Soon the Twitter will be cleaned up and ready to go. All that stuff. You know where to go. One-stop shopping everywhere on social media. We'll talk to you soon. You guys have a good day. See you next Tuesday, 9 o'clock. Peace.